Let's get some. Yeah, here we're back with Rosemary. Like I said in the description there, we've got nice, pretty sections with some crazy, rowdy sections, but it's all very pleasant, all very major key. Should be fun. So I've done the usual, imported the settings from the prior song. We're at a really good spot for starting out, so now it's just kind of making some fine tweaks and doing musical adjustments to sort of make the song breathe and dance and come to life. And let's go. So, get the subs right, first thing. This is the day. A little uneven in the kick drum. It's pretty dynamic kick drum, so. A little more squeeze on it, feels tighter. Too pushed in the low end. Don't quite have the loudness yet. Motherfucker down, down. Let's do a little Paul-Tech. Dangerous is not going to do anything. UAD Paul-Tech program, yeah. This is the day. Something needs tuned in that low end. It's just like something's pushing too hard, a little flabby. Trying to find that low end that makes it feel muddy, waiting for it to just pop up so then I can cut it. Too high there, but somewhere between here and here. That might be it there. plot thickens. So this is 52 hertz here, which is where our boost is, which I haven't checked it for this song, but it's the same drum kit, so I gotta assume it's gonna work the same. Usually we find where the sub low end of the kick drum sings, and we have determined it to be 52 hertz. So now the thing that's muddy is 110. Well, what's 52 times 2? Almost 110. So I haven't done a whole lot of experimenting in this, but there's something to this where there's like mathematics and harmonics and stuff at play. This is like goes way deep into science nerddom, which I know a lot less about than just vibing, man. You know what I'm saying? So it might be fine. I don't know. But theoretically, this is the idea. On systems that can't reproduce this 52, if you cut the 110 or the next harmonic of it or whatever you want to call it, then that system will not be hearing the kick drum because you've cut, let's say it can only do 100 and above, and not all this stuff you can't be heard. It's an iPhone speaker or whatever, laptop. Then you're cutting the low end of that system where the kick drum sits. So, I don't know. Now, that's not to say that we can't get the kick drum on those systems from other places, like, you know, the 5K, 10K sort of snap on a kick drum. You know, that's also doable. Just something I wanted to point out, you know. So, let's put our boost back, put the cut in, and see how it feels. Now that feels a lot cleaner to me. Let's put the bass in, and then we'll check against our not super musically relevant reference mix. So again, I talked about this in another video, but this is the high pass of the bass guitar. So you can hear how thinner it gets when I cut more low end, obviously. So basically, we're going to try and find the range at what is acceptable. So this is going to be pretty sub heavy, and we're going to try and find the thinner range whatever is acceptably thin and staying out of the way of the kick, but still providing low end in our mix. So we're going to try and find the range of the lowest and the highest, and then we'll find the sweet spot of what's optimal. That's where we just make our judgment call as to what we like. So we want to find the range of the system first. The range of options we might have. That's a little too far, I think. So I'm going to go on the side of caution and not cut too much. I liked it here, but I was just a little afraid there was going to be too much low end cut. So just knocking a little bit off. Let's see, that's probably 150 there instead of 100. I'm guessing this is 100, 150, 200, 250. That's what I'm guessing. So we'll leave it at 150 or slightly below that. And we'll live with that for a minute. Nice warm guitar, love it. I get a little low end cut off that. I'm just going to get more surgical with this. I like how it sounds. I just need a little tiny shave off the bottom there. So I like the warmth of it. I'm going to consider something else. So that's definitely a safe. Like there's not hardly any low end in there, but that might be kind of what makes it cool. So I'm going to try something else. I'm going to just turn this off and then make this guy sort of dynamic. How do I do that? Come on, guy. Make dynamic. Okay. Basically, what's going to happen is it's only going to reduce the low end when it hits a certain threshold. So let's try that out. So this cut, we'll just cut it out altogether, regardless of what's happening. And this kind of allows us to have our cake and eat it too. We can actually boost the low end, but reduce it in sort of, it's a compression, pretty much, multi-band compression. And so we can actually kind of get more low end, but keep it controlled. So. And then, of course, we can cut out our absolutely unwanted things, you know, at 60 hertz. So, you know, you can do anything you want. Lose your mind. So here's as you can see, it's labeled bass 6. It's bass 6, doubling the part through a bass cabinet IR, I believe. It looks like those are all bass guys. So yeah, just something to kind of make the section feel heavier than it would have if it didn't have that. So this is all the more reason to just go ahead and cut more low end here than, I mean, I might even remove that. We can try our same thing here. Not to cut it, but to keep it controlled. Again, just copying the settings from one to another, you know, no big deal. am going to explore where the point is on this, if I can maybe make it cut a little differently so we can sort of stack the tones and make them, I don't know how to explain this. Instead of having them both be the same point, we're going to give them 2 different points, you know, to have them be more identifiable and theoretically make a wider tone, not a taller tone. Like, how to explain this? I don't know. So we can more evenly hear both colors in the mix, you might say. Yeah, I mean, either of those work. Go with the low one. Just trying to give it some depth here, just to kind of let it poke out, and then now some fancy sauce here to see what this does. in my meters, but still had some. I like my faders to sit at 0 for some reason. I'd rather move the output of the last compressor than move the fader. Probably not a good habit, but it's a neurotic thing I like to do. This thing sure is stopping a lot. Fucking Chrome. Okay, now we're crashing. Cool. We'll be right back.